If you're watching this right now, the house might finally be quiet, but your mind isn't. And that's where dads break, not in the chaos, but in the silence after it. Tonight, I want to remind you of something life-changing. You were never meant to carry all of this alone. God is awake. God is present. And tonight you have permission to put the burden down. Let's be completely honest with each other for a second. Life right now is scary. It is exhausting. And for a lot of us, anxiety and depression aren't just passing moods. They feel like concrete walls blocking us from actually living, enjoying, and experiencing the lives we were given. You wake up tired. You grind all day. You go to bed tired. And you wake up to do it all over again. And if you're like me, you've probably asked God at some point, why is this so hard? Why does every single step forward feel like dragging a boulder up a mountain? Here is the perspective shift I had to learn the hard way, and I hope it frees you tonight. Life is hard, and it is by design. Let that sink in for a minute. We live in a culture that sells us the lie that if life is hard, you must be doing something wrong. If you're stressed, you failed at work-life balance. If you're depressed, your faith must be weak. If your marriage or your finances are struggling, you're failing as a provider. That is a lie straight from the pit of hell. God never promised us an easy ride. In fact, He explicitly told us the opposite. Jesus said, "In this world you will have tribulation." The friction, the pressure, the sleepless nights, they aren't glitches in the system. They are the design. They are the chisel. Why? Because a comfortable man rarely looks up to heaven. It is the crushing weight of this world that is intentionally designed to strip away our illusion of control, shatter our self-reliance, and force us to look up and say, "Lord, I cannot do this on my own." And that right there, that is where God comes in. Because the moment you realize you can't carry it all, the moment your knees buckle under the pressure, is the exact moment you realize He has been standing there the whole time, waiting for you to hand Him the bags. So why trust Him? Why trust a God when the bank account is low, when your kid is acting out, when your mental health feels like a fragile house of cards ready to collapse at any second? You trust Him because you have finite limits, and He has none. Think about your own capacity as a dad. You have a breaking point. You have a finite amount of patience, a finite amount of energy, and a finite amount of control over tomorrow. You can wear your hair gray, but you cannot add a single hour to your life or force the economy to fix itself. God doesn't have those limits. He doesn't sleep. He doesn't get overwhelmed. He doesn't look at your mess and think, "Oh man, I didn't see that coming." When God looks at your exhausted, anxious state, He doesn't look down with disappointment. He looks down with deep, agonizing compassion. In Matthew 11, Jesus looks at every tired, heavy-laden person and says, "Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you, and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." Why trust Him? Because He's the only one strong enough to hold the universe and gentle enough to hold your broken heart at 3 a.m. All right, so theological concepts are great, right? It sounds good in a sermon. But how does that actually play out for a stressed-out dad sitting in his living room on a Tuesday night? How do you trust Him? And when do you trust Him? How to trust God? Trusting God isn't a passive feeling. It's an active, deliberate surrender of your control. It looks like talking out loud to an empty room when your wife and kids are asleep. It looks like honesty that feels almost too vulnerable to say. You literally say, "God, I don't know how we're going to pay this bill. I don't know how to fix my mind right now. I feel completely broken, but I'm dropping this weight right here at your feet. It's yours. I am yours." Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything, present your requests to God. It means taking your mental to-do list, the 10,000 things you're worried about, and turning them into a prayer list. It means choosing prayer over panic. It means choosing honesty over silent suffering. It means choosing release over control. It means handing over the steering wheel and moving from the driver's seat to the passenger seat. Because when you do, when you actually speak it, release it, surrender it, life becomes more worthwhile, and you can carry on despite how heavy everything feels. It gives you peace no matter what the circumstances are. So again, how do we trust God? It is by humbly surrendering everything to Him. Trust is not silence. Trust is surrender. Trust is release. Trust is the moment you stop gripping everything and let God guard what you can't. When you trust God, you trust Him in the exact moments you want to panic. You trust Him when the email notification pops up from work and your stomach drops. You trust Him when you look at your kids and worry about the world they're growing up in. You trust Him when your mind starts sprinting into the future, imagining every worst-case scenario. And most importantly, you trust Him in the dark hours, when the anxiety spikes at 2 a.m., when your chest tightens, when your brain starts spinning the wheel of fear. That is your cue. That is the alarm bell telling you, Lord, help me. I don't know what will happen, but you do. I'm laying down everything outside my control into your hands. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you. That moment right there is trust. That moment is surrender. That moment is spiritual warfare. Because every time you choose release over spiraling, you're declaring, I'm not carrying this alone anymore. Trust God every time, especially when fear hits hardest, when the anxiety spikes at 2 a.m., and your brain starts spinning the wheel of worst-case scenarios. That is your cue. Cast all your anxiety on Him, because He cares for you. Dads, this is where everything shifts. You've been carrying so much. The pressure, the responsibility, the fear of what tomorrow might bring. But God never asked you to hold all of that alone. He said to cast it, throw it, onto Him. Not because you're weak, but because He cares for you more than you realize. And this is why I wanted to make this video for you today. Because dads, we are terrible at resting. We treat exhaustion like a badge of honor. We think staying up all night worrying is proof of how much we care. But Scripture says the opposite. Real spiritual warfare for an exhausted dad looks like this: letting go, casting your anxiety on God, and trusting Him enough to sleep. Physical sleep is an act of faith. When you close your eyes, you're preaching a sermon to your own soul. God cares for me. God carries what I can't. God is watching over my home while I rest. You've done what you could today. You showed up. You tried. You fought the battles you could see. And God fought the ones you couldn't. So tonight, whatever is waiting on your desk tomorrow morning, cast it onto Him. You don't have to carry it into your dreams. Tonight, I will pray for all the dads. For strength, for rest, for peace. And for the courage to finally let go of what's too heavy. Trust God. Give Him what's too heavy. And go to sleep. If this video helped you, keep the momentum going. Tap the next video. It breaks down the full Dad Foundations playlist so you can continue building a stronger, more grounded fatherhood. And if you want a quick, practical insight, tap the video where I share how to accept and deal with hard life. It's the perfect follow-up.